Hey y'all, let me finish this off right quick, and then the girl really gotta go get some vittles. But what was I saying, Devon? Oh yeah, I woke up this morning. I looked at A Few Good Men, which I have been wanting to see for a while. Each time I kept trying to watch it, you either have to pay for it, which depending on what it is, I'm not messed up with paying for it, but I wasn't being guided to pay for it, and I thank God I didn't, because with my services, I was able to actually use it. It was part of my services. So I got up and I made me some breakfast. I've been eating the breakfast of champions lately. Really not being funny when I say that. I'm actually so serious. I really haven't been eating a lot of breakfast food lately. Like, I really haven't. There's certain foods that I do want, but to me they're too pricey. And when I think about my health, not really good for me anyway. So I've backed off. And growing up, we didn't necessarily always have breakfast food. Like, a lot of times, if my mom cooked a lot, or we ate out, or whatever the situation may be, we pretty much turned leftovers into breakfast, if that's what we felt like we wanted, or we went out to eat, or we made something different. But it didn't necessarily have to be breakfast food. Same thing for dinner. We didn't necessarily eat dinner food or even lunch food. Sometimes we liked breakfast for dinner. We liked pancakes and um, grits and oatmeal and all that good jazzy stuff, bacon, sausages, and homemade biscuits and whatnot for dinner. So, but I got up and I put away some of the food that needed to be put away. It cooled off overnight, and then I actually took some of dinner slash a snack excuse me, snack last night, mixed it together, and then I made some burritos, some breakfast burritos, and they were delicious. Well, I had just finished eating or whatever, and I was in here venting. Like, that's my therapy. A lot of people ask me how I do it. That's how I do it. I go out to Nora and I vent, and I listen to her, or I just vent next to her, or I just let my emotions just fall, and I let my spirit guides talk. That's my therapy when I walk. I'm outside walking and everything. But in the morning, if it's something that really needs to come out, it comes out during that time, so that unless it's something that somebody necessarily needs to hear right then, or I need to say to them directly, that's my therapy. So I turned on the shower, and I was just sitting pretty, and I was going back and forth, and I was finishing off A Few Good Men, and cleaning up and getting things together. I knew I had a 1 o'clock appointment to actually go to my dentist, to have I was supposed to get cleaning and stuff like that today. Didn't happen, but it is what it is. And anyway, long story short, like I said, when I had my phone earlier, yeah, I had planned on doing one thing. Instead, some other things happened. And in the midst of it all, I restarted my phone. It had been acting funny. Not like this, but just acting funny. Like, every time I kept trying to turn it off, or I kept trying to, just click it off so that it would be in the off mode, sleep mode, or take it how it resonate. The daggone thing would turn the camera on. So I had been acting foolish for like 2 to 3 weeks. I had just took all my stuff off of there. Well, long story short, I tried to restart and the daggone thing wouldn't come on. Instead, it's been showing that screen right there. Hopefully you can see it. It's been showing that screen right there or whatever, ever since. So it's like 11:30, no, 11 o'clock, 11:30 when that started happening. I'm like, oh Lord. I tried to fix it. That didn't work. And that's why you should keep emergency funds, y'all. That's why you should have and keep emergency funds. And thank God I had some. So I jumped up, went over there, went to my phone company, showed the person my phone. They're like, well, there was a problem with your phone. Like, when did you buy it? And I told them that, oh, well, you're good. You didn't have any problems. And today I was like, no. Because I got my phone, and I got my first one in 2020, like February 2020. So this one right here, I got in probably like 2021. And then I had gotten the other one in 2021 for business. When I say the other one, I mean this one for business. But really, but because I was paying all that money for 2 lines, but I wasn't using on the line because the business that I was trying to create, it didn't manifest. It is what it is. I ended up getting that line turned off or whatever. Well, I ended up getting my new phone, y'all. And I did say 2 or 3 months ago I need to get a new one. I just didn't know that that one had to die in order for me to get a new one. So I did get that one. So I ran over there, and I had already told him, man, I'm gonna pay for this. Can you handle this? And I'll come back and get it. Got a 1 o'clock appointment. He was like, well, it's like 12:30. Give me 10 minutes, and I'll get you out. So in 2 minutes or less, he did it. He switched over my phone. I left out. I went over. Went to my appointment, and then as I was walking, I was thinking, man, I don't have anybody's phone number. I mean, I'm old fashioned, y'all, but I'm not that old fashioned. What I mean is, I don't have like an address book. Maybe I should invest in it at this point, but then I don't know if I have enough time in a few days to a few weeks to sit down and write down everybody's information. So I don't know about that one. But I was thinking about that in the moment when I started walking to my appointment, which was like less than 2 minutes away. So I go to the appointment, and I was thinking about my sis slash my friend at that exact moment in time. And what's crazy, that's how I talk, what I mean when I tell y'all, your biggest issue when you're not seeing what you want, unless divine has a specific reason for not allowing something to come full circle in your life at that moment. And trust me, most of the time when it's not, they do. But outside of that, anything you want, keeping your vibrations super, super high, everything is just instantly going to come to you anyway. Well, like I was saying, long story short, I was walking, I was thinking about my friend slash sister. I went in, got the clipboard because I had to sit down and write down more info. And lo and behold, my phone rings. So I'm like, hello. And the person's like, hey. I'm like, who's this? And she was like, who is that? What do you mean you don't know who this is? And she tells me her name. It's like, oh, that's crazy. And I had in that moment to let her know I was literally just thinking about you. But I ended up going in. I ended up going through with the appointment. I ended up, getting x-rays and things like that. But they didn't really take me because they said the issue I have, another type of doctor needs to get with me, and then they can get with me after that. So that's what ended up happening. But I said all that to you guys again. I've been waiting for that appointment for like 3 months. Did you really think that I walked in expecting to get the news that they were not gonna be able to help me? With my issues that's going on in there with my mouth, let alone not even give me a cleaning, because they would like the cleaning, it wouldn't be right unless I go to this other place first. Do you really think I expected or I planned those things? Of course I didn't. I didn't expect or plan or a lot of people don't realize, yeah, sometimes you gotta lose a lot. Like I said in the moment earlier, I lost my mom in 2020. I was on the verge of getting married in 2020. Through the extension of having this man be a part of my life, his family, as in his children, were my children. And, the other day was Mother's Day. Yesterday was Mother's Day. And as I was walking in the rain yesterday, just getting some cleansing, I have to go out there, I have to pull in that primer, and I have to be as close to the earth as possible each day, or I lose it. True story. So even though it was raining, I did go out there for a few minutes, and as I was crying and listening to Nora and listening to my family, and I totally agree with all of what they said. Those are my children. My mom, my adoptive mom, their grandma, gave me an amazing news about them last week in the midst of me transitioning. And it was news I wasn't expecting, news I wasn't prepared for, and I was overwhelmed. But I mean it in a good way. It was like, really? All this is happening? All this is going on? I'm not a part of their lives anymore. I don't get to know things about them. Yeah, I do inquire of them, but it's certain things that if you're not in a relationship with someone anymore, and that's the part that hit the most out of all of it. That's the part that hit the most out of all of it. I had to say in the moment I wasn't properly dressed, so I definitely couldn't go live, and I didn't feel like getting properly dressed. But I certainly couldn't go live. But I'm going to rehash what I said a couple days ago. Now, if you're in a position where you've experienced that which divine wants for you,